How would you like to give your players an adventure hook they certainly can't resist? Guaranteed to work 93% of the time? Well, you most certainly can, because you already have the best adventure hook in your Game Master toolkit, treasure. That's right, because if there's two things that are absolutely true about your players, it's that 1, they'll always wreck your plans, and 2, they'll always take your treasure. Those shiny trinkets of power have the potential to send your players down unexpected rabbit holes of danger if you get this one thing right. No, I'm not talking about cursing items, that's just way too predictable. I'm talking about leveraging their inherent greed to hatch your adventure and forever change their fictional destiny. So feel free to use these 6 treacherous treasures and stick around to the end, and I'll show you how to craft your very own loot hook in just 3 easy steps. Number 1, the Blood-Fire Opal. This bright red gemstone, deemed as mere currency in rock form by your players, is in fact the crystallized blood of a dead god, and now seeps its corrupting influence into your world. All thanks to your players' decisions to remove the inconspicuous gemstone out of its ancient resting place. What would happen to the merchant your players happened to sell the ruby to? Would they be surprised if a string of murders suddenly gripped the once quiet village in fear and terror? Number 2, the Golden Hawk. Imagine how elated your players will be when they unearth a magnificent, oversized signet ring. At its center, the proud figure of a bird of prey is intricately engraved. Despite its aged and weathered appearance, this golden heirloom is actually the mark of the sole heir of a noble bloodline, with all the perks and privileges of the noble station. Unfortunately for your players, the one that they have is a counterfeit, which could eventually be exposed by the possessor of the real signet ring, or even by the creators of the counterfeit itself. Will your players continue the ruse, expose the conspirators, or acquiesce to the rightful heir? Number 3, the Faberge Egg. This lavishly adorned egg boasts more than just its opulent exterior, for nestled deep within lies a crucial key. This key is but one of many that unlocks the vast wealth, estates, and titles of a deceased Baron Aldrich Blackwood. Despite his once robust youth, Baron Aldrich, with his thick neck and broad shoulders, succumbed to the life of excess, ultimately hiding his fortune from his avarice offspring, who sought his demise for personal gain. Your players will find themselves not only tasked with retrieving the other eggs, but with also fending off the relentless pursuit of the Baron's ambitious heirs, determined to seize the inheritance before their rivals or any other opportunists lay claim to it, your players included. Number 4, the Lion's Head. Forged from the Empire's finest gold, the lion's head stands as a symbol of honor and valor within the realm. Once worn by renowned warrior Roderick White Lion in the service of the king, who mysteriously vanished years ago, the helm's presence sparks intrigue and controversy. Now imagine your party encountering a bright-eyed young adventurer named Finian, on a quest to uncover the truth behind his long-lost father's disappearance, only to recognize his father's helm among their possessions. Was Sir Roderick wrongly assassinated by the king for uncovering a scandalous truth, or was he a traitor selling secrets to overthrow the empire out of spite? The fate of this helm and the secret it holds is in your hands. Number 5, the Ivory Stiletto. Crafted from the purest ivory, this blade epitomizes delicate detail and unparalleled craftsmanship. Atop the blade's handle is a breathtaking goddess, meticulously handcrafted, her divine form etched with exquisite perfection. This masterful knife is destined to captivate your players. But once they discover themselves at the center of a scandalous murder involving the death of a highborn noble, her clandestine paramour, and a covetous adversary, they'll find themselves not only ensnared by the allure of the blade, but also by the shadow of accusations that threaten to tarnish their very names. Number 6, the Syndicate's Crown. Even something as mundane as a gold coin with the king's head flipped in the other direction can mean entry into a thieves' guild or a secret society that your players might happen to stumble upon. How would your players fare if they were pulled into an underworld hidden in plain sight, all by the simple means of exchanging the gold coin to a local merchant or bartender? Perhaps it could even be the means of access to location, weapons, information, or status, much like the gold coins in John Wick. I'm sure your head is brimming with ideas right now, so as promised, here's how to make your own loot hooks in 3 easy steps. Step 1. Use common but not game-breaking loot. Gemstones, jewelry, wondrous items, armor, weapons, coins, all these kind of things are perfect because they allow you to be flexible and creative with the different kinds of things that you can use to attract players with. And not only that, it makes reskinning them super easy. All you have to do is pick something that your players might like and do whatever you want to make these items unique. Now, to make them interesting, you have to go to step number 2. And you can do that by making your loot out of rare material Make it a symbol of authority, give it a unique appearance, or perhaps give it some history belonging to some iconic person in your campaign. And then once you have those in place, step number 3, give it a twist. Perhaps your item is a broken seal that was holding back some great evil, or perhaps it is a counterfeit, or perhaps it is something that is highly coveted. Maybe it was something that was lost and somebody else is looking for it. Maybe it's the center of a scandalous murder, or even the ticket into some secret membership. Personally, I love using loot hooks. They're easy to implement, and they instantly create curiosity and intrigue, almost like a Pandora's box. I've used the Faberge Egg in one of my campaigns, and it catapulted my players from a roadside ambush all the way to a shady tavern without feeling contrived. The best part about it is it felt so natural. When the players discovered the loot, and they got curious and they opened up the egg, and all of a sudden they find this secret note about some rendezvous at this particular tavern in the city that they'd never heard of. All of a sudden that curiosity got piqued, and that's when the adventure really took off. Loot hooks are almost impossible to resist. Whether it's the mundane or the magical, there are so many creative avenues to springboard from, and they can play it out in simple role-playing scenes or full-on adventures. I'm sure you've got some ideas of your own, so leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you come up with. Thanks for watching, GM, and I'll see you in the next one.